and welcome back to Milk and Honeys. I'm your host, Vanessa Curry.
I'm Kayla Becker.
And today, I wasn't sure if she was going to keep going. You know, you guys.
Liz,
Episode 24.
We're wearing our little boys' lie outfits, and I'm way too cozy for my own good. I feel like I'm just going to like fall asleep
sink in. Like, you guys, how freaking cute are these? Like, what? I'm probably going to mess up my hair and be so upset right now.
Hoods?
But like.
I know.
And this zipper, and they have cute little, like, they're just attention to detail is just everything. We love our boys' lie, and they're doing so well. And
it's perfect timing because it is LA, California's version of winter time. So this is like the best little outfit to
it's
get
like,
into.
it's like, it's owned by two besties, you know? It's like, what's better than that?
If they have their boys' lie, what's ours going to be called? You know, if we had our own clothing brand. I mean, it'd probably just be Milk and Honeys, obviously.
But like, it has to be like something like drip.
Yeah, boys lie.
Drip.
I think that we'll work on it.
We'll work on
but yes, welcome back to Milk and Honeys. We are officially a week away from Halloween.
I know, I'm so excited.
What are you doing for Halloween?
I will be in Vegas.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yes. It is going to be Dre's nightclub their last weekend, which is, you know, it's bittersweet, but they're going to go out with a bang. So I will be there for Vegas. Hopefully Kayla will join me, maybe.
TBD.
If she does, you will see some Honeys in the Wild videos on our Instagram at Milk and Honeys Pod. So yeah.
We'll see.
What are you doing?
Well,
besides
if I don't go to Vegas, my friend recently bought a home in West Hollywood, this house with all these other houses around it, which is, I guess, called a neighborhood.
In normal life.
For us, we're like apartments.
Yeah.
So we're going to like hand out candy to kids, which is kind of fun because I just want to scare the hell out of these little children and then just kind of spend time like with each other. And it's her birthday weekend. So I think that's what we're going to possibly do. But yeah, we'll see. Regardless, I love Halloween so much.
Same. I saw a video of, just like kind of not off topic, it's about Halloween, but I saw a video of a raccoon like trying to get the candy. You know, some people leave bowls out. And they had an automatic scarer, like one of those machines.
And it scared a little raccoon.
And oh my goodness, you guys, it was so sad. The raccoon's just in there, like he's like figuring out which one he wants, like minding his own business. All of a sudden, this thing comes out, I was like, rah, 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 and the raccoon just flies like feet in the air, like so many feet in the air. Poor little guy, and just like jumps
all of his
off.
friends.
Yeah.
Don't go to that house.
So yeah.
Well, yes, we are very excited that it is cool weather time. I actually went and did Hollywood Forever Cemetery recently with some friends. Saw Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was really fun. We were all bundled up in the blankets, drinking wine, watching the movie. I'm like, this is the weather that I've been very excited to experience.
Oh yeah, it feels like fall, and anytime that weather changes, it does always make me feel like Halloween, which I love. Halloween. So,
but anyway, we're gonna talk more about Halloween next week when we have a very exciting episode and some very exciting potential guests that are going to pop in. But today we want to talk about something me and Vanessa have been discussing amongst ourselves when it's time to close a chapter. Also, where the line is between empowerment and oversharing, and why we are all secretly, but also not secretly, exhausted. Because we are, especially in these outfits right now.
Yep.
So, again, we talked about this. Do you ever realize you've been forcing a season to keep going way longer than it should because you're not quite ready to say goodbye?
Yeah, I think we all have. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to let go of what was.
Yeah.
Because everything passes, right? Even emotions, even going through emotions that maybe we don't want to go through, but we have to remember that we were put on this planet not only to feel good things, but we were also put here to feel all of the feelings, which is sometimes not the good ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
Well, even we just talked about like us. You've lived in California forever. You've lived in LA for a long time. I've been here for a few years. I quit my job in WWE a year and a half ago, which was an example of a season that I had to end as hard as it was for me to do. And now we're kind of back in that point with like living here in California and try to revive our careers or just continue our careers and opportunities just not being what they were. And is it time to pack it up and move on and start over? And just the sad realization that could be a reality, you know? And it's like, how do you know when that's the right thing to do, when maybe you should stick it out a little longer?
I do think that I think deep down subconsciously, we do know when it's time to
hang it up.
And maybe not hang it up. My friend said this to me the other day, which has made amazing sense to me. She goes, just because when you're reading a book, just because you move on to chapter 5 or whatever, doesn't mean that chapter 1 could potentially step into chapter 5 and mesh in a different way, even though it hasn't been there from 2 to 4.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, just because a chapter is closing doesn't necessarily mean it's closed forever. Sometimes it is, like, right? There's some books, there's some movies that you can go see the second one without seeing the first one, right? Because there's nothing involved really in the first one. So I realized that, and I said, oh my God, you're so right. Just because we're adding hats to wear doesn't necessarily mean that the other ones have to be hung up or thrown away or recycled or donated. We can keep them, and like, they may come out again. You know what I mean? And it's just staying positive in the opportunities that we have and remembering to give 120% to all of those.
Yeah. And I think for me, what I've struggled with is like letting go of a chapter, a phase of your life doesn't mean that you failed in it. And I talked to my sister yesterday for a while about that, just how, like, because I feel like I've had to let go of so many parts of my life, again, you know, career, relationships, etc. I feel like I failed at them. And she's like, it's not a failure. You're just it's like a redirection. Yeah. And redirections a lot of times are very necessary to get yourself out of the rut and to like kind of hit that restart button, and then, you know, the next chapter is even more rewarding.
For sure. And sometimes, like, on that road, right, you can make a U-turn, but maybe you're making a U-turn to make a right. You know, like you may go back a little bit, like, and doing something along those lines that you had been doing. But yeah, it's not failure. It's just a pivot, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, I always think of Friends whenever I was like, pivot. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If not,
I've never really watched Friends.
Oh God.
I know. It's
my sister's going to die when you just said that.
Sorry, Nicole. I do wonder, though, if people stay too long in a certain situation, longer than they should, because of complacency and comfort. And I think complacency and comfort are two of the most dangerous things. Like, again, my job, I stayed there for 8 years. I knew around year 5 it was time for me to go, but I was comfortable. And I think it did set me back in a lot of ways. Yeah, and I think in relationships, like, I've clearly have stayed in relationships way too long, knowing that it wasn't it and it wasn't going to work. But it was harder to have that conversation and be like, hey, that's it. Even though in the long run, when I did have it, it wasn't that hard. But the anticipation of, like, maybe I was living with one of my ex-boyfriends at the time, you know? So that's like, you're not just releasing a relationship, you're also releasing a home. You got to pack up your shit. You got to get out. You got to find some place to live. It's a lot of things. But I do say that people get comfortable in the uncomfortable because it's easier. So it's like, if you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes it is easier just to deal with it and not speak and remain uncomfortable. Because if you decided that I want to be comfortable in my own skin, like, I have to break through that uncomfortableness. Is that a word? Yeah, sure. Great. Uncomfortableness. We have our own words here. Whatever. Uncomfortability. In order to benefit ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. What would you say? I know you just mentioned your relationship was one of the hardest chapters you had to close, even beyond that. I think, like, even like with your potentially, like, your music career and your dancing career. Yeah, I think maybe closing the chapter on, you know, when I first moved here, I danced for the Lakers. And so that chapter ended a little bit earlier. So I think maybe that is something that pops up right away. But yeah, because it's interesting. That one was like such an abrupt closure for me. But like the singing career and things like that, it kind of was like muddled. So I don't really remember like the actual closure of that. It just kind of faded a little bit. But that probably was the hardest one because I made that decision
I left. I never went back. And that's hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. I was only 19 at the time. So that was a big decision for me to make at such a young age, I think.
Do you think women, not to say men don't struggle with this too, but like women get guilted into staying, like you mentioned, again, relationships, especially when you are relying on a man who's providing the home, jobs, everything. Do you think women are guilted into staying in places longer than they should?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because remember, we were raised as women specifically to shut up, do what you're told, do a good job.
Be thankful.
Be thankful that you even have an opportunity. And go home, do the chores, go to bed, do it again. That's, I think, what we were like raised on. Yeah. And I just don't believe in that. But I do think that is, it's hard to unravel that really tightly woven ball of yarn. You know what I mean? Like to unravel years and years and decades and centuries of women being told like, shh.
Yeah. Just be thankful you're here.
Don't make a ruckus.
Yeah.
Just do what you're told, smile, and be happy. It's like Stepford Wives, It's like, no, fuck that. Like that's not us.
Yeah.
That's not, women are so powerful. We freaking create human lives in our bellies. Like
not
what?
This month.
Well, no, not this month. We're both on our moon cycles today.
Periods. If you don't know what moon cycle is.
Whatever.
She loves the moon cycle.
I love the moon cycle. It just makes it sound better. But yeah, so I do. What about you?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel that way?
I mean, I think especially in my career, I did. I think as far as relationships, I always feel like I wear the pants in relationships, or I try to. But I think with my career, because I've worked in very male-dominated like industries, like with sports and news and broadcasting. So I think definitely felt those things. I'm like, you know what? No, like I'm getting all of these opportunities, and like I'm getting to like I'm being put at the top of the totem pole here. I just need to be thankful. I just need to stay. Because and then you're comparing yourself. Oh, there's not all these other girls that are doing what I'm doing right now. So I need to stay. And I think I didn't come up with these thoughts in my head. These are thoughts that people are saying to me. So then I start believing them. And so,
And that's why, my mom always said, tell me who your friends are. And it is definitely a huge reflection of who you are, right? It's like, because sometimes we do surround ourselves with people who we think are supportive, but are they? Are they really supportive? Or are they just there as sometimes a yes person, but also just trying to like, it's either yes, you're a yes person, or you're trying to rewire this person's brains to feel not confident in what they're doing. And it makes you second guess yourself. And you're like, wait, can I do this? And you didn't even have that thought. Yeah. You had that thought because someone else is like, well, can you do this?
Yeah.
Are you sure you can?
Yeah,
like, what's going to happen if it fails?
Exactly.
And it's like, stop asking me what happens if it fails. Like, if it fails, I got to figure it out. But like, I don't want to go into any project thinking, what if it fails?
Yeah.
I mean, every single commercial that I've done, every film, everything, like I've had stuff that never came out ever, and it's like, I'm not going to not keep going with that, but it's like, it doesn't come out. Okay, we move on to the next one and we put the same amount of effort, if not more, because we got to keep going and pushing for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you said something earlier about like, the chapter's over because you just know. But sometimes just like that, there's other people in your head. I have 7 different voices going in my head at all times. How do you know when you're done versus maybe you're just scared? Like, I think going back to my whole point of like, is it time for me to leave Los Angeles? Am I saying that because I feel like I'm done here, or because I'm just scared of what might happen if I stay? Am I scared that I can't actually make it here? Am I scared because of the people who said, oh, you can't make it out in Hollywood? Well, listen, I'm 3 years in and I really haven't booked anything out here. Maybe they're right. But hey, if I'm like, screw you guys, I'm not scared. Let me stick it out another year. And then that's maybe when I see the biggest blessings in my life and my career. So it's hard to sometimes know which one is which, like which voice is right.
But also I think like Hollywood is changing so drastically that you don't have to be here to make it in Hollywood anymore.
Yeah.
So that saying to me doesn't even seem realistic because like we said, like we just said in the last episode, there's so many things being filmed in other places, everywhere. Right? And it's self-tapes. It's 9 out of 10 auditions are self-tapes. And if it was like a real big thing that you had to come back for, if you were anywhere, you'd come back and do it just like other actors do. Like there's plenty of people who do that. You know what I mean? So I think times are changing. So it's like, I've thought about that too. We've talked about moving out of LA and finding a place where we could have more opportunity for, all the different talents that we do have, because we do. We're not just one thing. You and I, we have many, many talents, and we're good at them, and we support each other in them. So I think when it comes to being fearful of it, and then also being aware of this chapter is done, I genuinely think that like you will figure that out if you ask yourself those questions and you sit with yourself and you meditate on it and ask the universe to like show you answers and give you answers to your questions. It does come up, but it's up to us to actually listen to it. You know, people always say the universe was showing you all the signs, but if you don't want to listen to the signs, then you don't. And that's fine. But like they're there. Like there's plenty of scenarios which I try to catch them now, because I think I'm more aware of like life and opportunity and career and all the things that I really try to stay in the moment now. And I'm like, oh, that's a moment. Even like, the last time I needed you and I didn't even have to ask you. You knew. You're like, oh, if you need me, like, let's go get a lunch. Let's go have a drink, like da-da-da-da. And that's that moment where it's like the universe, I could have said, no, I just need to be by myself today. And I could have been, and I would have just probably cried and sulked and did all the things. But because the universe was giving me, an opportunity to not do that with someone that I care deeply about, and I know that you care deeply about me, then it's easy. I said, yeah, let's fucking go. I would love some lunch and a margarita right now,
Yeah.
But I do think like, we're so much smarter as humans. Like, we know.
Well, like you said, I just got to ask the questions and listen for the answers. And my rule is, if it's draining me more than it's developing me, then it's done. So just having boundaries, not only for the people around you, but having them for yourself.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I hope that maybe helped anybody who's been going through a little bit of a, know.
Yeah.
But speaking of boundaries, let's talk about the business of our bodies.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the question. Where's the line between empowerment and exposure? Okay, because apparently everyone's monetizing, everything.
Yes.
So where is that line?
Well, and we're asking this because, we live in the world of OnlyFans, feet pics, which we've been discussing, not the OnlyFans part, but like feet pics are basically like the new Bitcoin these days. I mean, if we don't wear if we don't wear socks on these episodes, immediately people are like zooming in and like talking about our feet. Although those episodes do a lot better, but that's our whole point.
Which is so crazy. It's like you guys are freaks.
I know.
Man.
Well, listen, OnlyFans saw a 20% increase in signups in 2025. Subscription content is normalized now by celebs and influencers way more. Like, we're seeing even like porn stars are getting like major brand deals, which never would have been a thing because it's one of those like unspoken things.
I mean, Bella Thorne, right?
Bella Thorne and this girl, can't think of her name on TikTok. She's a big porn star, but she's just got like a Maybelline or some big makeup brand. Obviously, there's still a huge stigma attached, especially for women, but it's definitely not the way it used to be. So would you ever sell a photo, not nude, but suggestive, to get your bag?
If you would have asked me that maybe like a year ago, I would have said no.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
It is. I know. That's something. It's like it's not a no. It's not a yes. It's like a,
because we've talked about it. It's like if we did like our feet stuff, it would be funny, right? We would make it
it funny, not like a super. Yeah.
We wouldn't make it like sexual, but like we would make it sexual, but like a comedic.
Yes.
Sexual, if that makes sense.
Because it's already out there. Like, when we did talked about our wiki feet, like the amount of photos of our feet that are out there that people are just like, it's like, well, why don't we take control over that? And that's where I think the difference in like empowerment and exposure, to me, that's like empowerment. Okay, you're already looking at my photos and, doing whatever you're going to do to them. Well, let me make some money off of this.
Yeah, I wear thong bikinis. I'm very comfortable in my, which is funny because when we had that episode about the pageants and we were talking about our pageant days, if you look at those photos of me in the pageant wearing a bikini, I'm wearing boy shorts.
Yeah.
Because I've always had a little butt, right? Like, well, a big butt. But when I was little, I had a big butt already. I've always had my butt. So I was insecure about my butt being as big as it was when I was little. So I would wear boy shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But now as an adult, I've like grown into who I am. I love my ass. Like, don't get me wrong. I had a big butt naturally, but like, you don't work that thing. She gonna sag, honey. Like you know what I mean? And I'm proud of that. Like, and so that's where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if I'm doing a workout in like a thong bikini and you want to give me $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
Why would we say no now?
It's like, why not? But also, I think when we had this conversation, I'm like, I think I'm still so like, because I'm still kind of in that corporate like mindset with my, like growing up, I wanted to be a host on the Today Show or like, you know, where I still get really nervous about it. Like,
but who knows? You still can be at this point because look at these girls who are doing that and they're getting Maybelline campaigns. They're getting hosting jobs for TV shows. And it's, you know, it is one of those things where it's scary, but also sometimes I do feel as though if you don't hop on board, do you just fall off and you get lost?
Yeah.
In a smart way. There's a strategic way to do it.
There's the line with like trashy and like I have girlfriends, especially if you look at the girls in the wrestling industry. Everything they post on their Instagram on a normal day is stuff I would only maybe do subscription service. Like it's already their norm. So like a lot of them do like leave WWE and go into OnlyFans or like start doing subscription services. But I've been told I'm not a subscriber. I would totally support, but I'm told they're just posting the same stuff that's already on their Instagram, also on their OnlyFans, just making money for it. My Instagram, I think both of our Instagrams, it's very rare you see us posting super provocatively on our social medias. Right. And so if we did, you know.
But is it exploitation if you're the one in control?
I mean, I think as long as you just don't lose yourself in it. Like I think it's just like, you're never going to find a nude photo of me on the internet. Like that's never going to happen.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, absolutely. Okay, let me take that back. As long as no one finds, okay.
Right. I mean, because I've taken them, but I'm not like selling them anywhere.
I'm not posting any of it.
Right. But like, do you think social media has already made us, you know, low key subscription creators? Like it kind of has, right?
It has.
I mean, because we are so, most of us are so concerned about what the aesthetic looks like on your page and what you're posting. And people have, you know, post apps where they can see like what it's going to look like beforehand. And, you know, so we kind of already are there. It's just, are we making money or not? Are the smart ones or the ones that just making money from it?
I know. And that's just the thing. I'm like, if like us being stressed about not being able to pay rent and to stay in LA, I'm like, can I just get my rent paid by like posting a few feet pictures and, you know, maybe a bikini here and there? I mean, why not?
I think we know that answer.
I think we know.
We've seen it with other people.
But it's also the anxiety that comes with like being perceived, being judged. What are people? I care way too much about what people are going to think, unfortunately, because that is just the world that we're in. If I start doing this, are my sisters, my judgmental sisters, going to say something to my parents, and it's going to be like, now I'm a bad example to my younger siblings, but also like, should I care? Because they're gonna grow up probably do the same shit.
let's just put it this way: like, if you were, not that you are, but like, say you were a famous porn star, right? Like, that doesn't mean like that your younger siblings are gonna be porn stars, but they're also gonna have to understand because there are porn stars. Porn stars do have families.
Yes.
So they do go home probably for Christmas.
Yeah.
And like Thanksgiving and all that. You know, so it's like, I would be interested to see how those conversations do happen because obviously we're not in that field, so we don't know that, you know. But we've experienced that kind of where we go home and they're like, oh, well, do you have any projects? Do you have any? But like, how does that come about at Thanksgiving? Like, do you have any projects? Oh yeah, I'm like.
I'm getting double
doing a threesome tomorrow, you know,
gobble, getting
which is like that's their job, like, you know, and you can't like they're paying, like they're getting paid for that, you know, like, and I don't fault them for that.
No, not at all. And I think even like what is her name? The porn star I'm talking about, she talked to her parents have come on her page because people are like, oh, I'm sure your parents are so proud. You're probably such a disappointment to your father. And they came on like, actually, we're really proud of her. We're really proud of her for taking ownership and she's empowered. Now, that is probably more times than not the case.
Right.
But there are, you know, and I have a friend who got into porn and it was really tough for her family at first. But then I think, you know, it's one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like that'd be kind of a fun guest to have on at some point. Have
Yeah,
someone in
just
the
to
porn
see
industry.
what it's like behind the scenes. Obviously, we know what porn is on the screen, but like, what comes after that or before that, right? Like when you're deciding to make that decision for yourself. And, you know, most of the time when I'm going to make a decision, I do have conversations with people who are closest to me, my mom, my sister, my boyfriend, probably you, like my close friends, and get other people's kind of insight on what they feel about it. But at the end of the day, like as I get older, I have stopped kind of asking. And it's like, well, what do you want? Does this feel good to you? Because if it does feel good, then do it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't and you're doing it for the wrong reason, then that's your answer too. You know, again, it's just being intuitive and being able to understand like what actually is it that like Vanessa wants. What's actually what does Kayla want besides all the outside noise?
Yeah. And that's it. Just constantly being perceived and worrying about the outside world. Yeah. Which leads us into, again, that anxiety. And you had told me you wanted to talk about this, just like the social anxiety that kind of comes on in this era of like constant exposure. Everyone talks about the burnout. But also people don't really talk about the people fatigue and how exhausting it is to have to consider everybody else around us.
Right.
Like we love connection.
Of course.
But I love how sometimes me and Vanessa will spend some days together and then we're like, we need to just vanish away from everyone at the same time, you know, because I do think we're really good with people, but I feel like we both also experience a level of social anxiety with all of that too, right?
Absolutely. But it's funny because no one ever thinks that we have it.
I know.
But I do. Like there are times, like even when we were at, you know, the after party for a film that we had gone to, and you're talking to certain people, and you know there are people who are so confident, and immediately when you start talking to them, they're just talking about them and like what they're doing and and then they like ask you what you do, and it's like, well, what part? Which one do you want to hear? Yeah. Which job? Because I do so many things. And then I think because I have spread myself so thin in doing all the creative, lovely jobs that I love to do, it's like, well, am I not good enough because I don't just do one thing? You know, like you're sitting here just telling me, oh, I have X, Y, and Z planned and blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, it's like talking about yourself. Maybe it's talking about yourself though. Like maybe that's what gives us anxiety, is because I can talk about other people. I can talk about you, what you're doing, like till my face is blue. But like maybe talking about what I'm doing, that's difficult for me. Yeah, same. Is talking about myself. I don't know. It's weird.
I even looked at you when we were at the last premiere, and I've been like, since I've lived in LA, I've been to dozens of premieres. And I walked the carpet, and I feel like but I looked at you, I said, I always feel like I don't belong here. Or I feel like it's like a weird thing. It's like, that's such I just don't.
What did I say to you? Like, shut up.
But yes, it's funny. I think it's because like our whole career is about being likable, like being like, we have to care. I mean, that's what we sign up for in this business. Do they like me in this movie? Do they like me on TV? Do they like the way I did that interview? Do they like
the audition?
Talked about in the podcast?
Do they
like
the everything?
We put so much of our stock into if someone else likes it.
Yeah, everything. I mean, look at even like, you know, a couple weeks ago, we had the Victoria's Secret fashion show. It's like those girls, what they had to do was walk. Yeah. And they were chosen by a walk. You know, because somebody liked their walk. They liked how their face looked when they were walking. You know, they liked their body energy when they were walking. And everyone has like a different niche for their own walk, right? It's like, and some girls went and didn't get it because they just didn't like their walk.
And that's all it is. It's like, do they like you? Do they not like you? And imagine what that does to a person. It's just like.
But that's why it's important to have a supportive group of people around you to remind you that at the end of the day, those are just opinions, and those are just other people's opinions, and everyone is going to have an opinion because we all have that right. But it doesn't necessarily mean that opinion's right for that person or for somebody else. But like my mom says, that's what makes the world go round. Everybody has their own opinion.
Well, a lot of people have clinical levels of social anxiety. 1 in 3 Gen Z adults. I don't know why I look at millennials. I feel like ours is worse. Yeah. Actually, no, Gen Z's is probably worse because I feel like we've had to be more like we've had to have more face-to-face time than the Gen Z generation.
We had to make phone calls, you know, like we had to learn how to like and below. Yeah. I've heard, I think we were talking about this one time where they can't even make a phone call.
They can't make a call to make it. My brother
anxiety.
is in college, and my mom called me and goes, he can't call the doctor to make his own doctor's appointment. He like breaks down. I'm like, that's a problem. Because like I've been making my own doctor's appointments since I was, and I mean, in high school, my mom made me make my own doctor's appointments.
Because they're teaching you responsibility and like, you know.
Knowing how to talk to people, how to carry on a conversation.
It's wild.
I know.
It's wild.
And then,
like we have online presence, which always is going to equal constant judgment loop.
Yeah.
Like it's nonstop. You know, I mean, you take people as big as like the Kardashians, right? It's like they have thousands, if not millions of comments like on their pages. That they don't answer, but like, come on, let's be real. We all see the comments, right? Like I've deleted comments sometimes that are mean because I'm just like, I don't really want this on my page. And like, you don't deserve to have this comment on my page. But it's like at their level, they have to just leave them.
They do.
You know, because it's like there's too many. There's just too many. And it's just not.
No.
It's just, and they do a very good job at, you know.
They have a team around them that helps them.
Of course.
I know it has to know. I mean, I think the Jenner girls or Kylie or someone has gotten on just being like, this is really hurtful. It doesn't matter. Like, but then that's about like the parasocial relationships, totally blur boundaries. Like, it's crazy how people can follow you on social media and think they know you personally.
Right.
There's that girl, God, it's heartbreaking. Emily Kaiser, she's a big TikToker. She shared, it was always she and her husband and her son, Trig, and he drowned drowned earlier this year because she didn't have a fence around her pool. And the amount of blame that I saw just being thrown at, she just lost her son, her best friend, like her firstborn. And the way people everyone was like making their own TikTok videos to say what they thought about her. I'm like, and so she went on TikTok a couple days ago, this past week.
Oh, wow.
And because she just kind of came back and was like in tears, just basically telling people like how dare you? Yeah. Like, you don't know my life. You're seeing this much of my life. Yeah. You don't know what it's like to lose a child. Until you know what that's like, please keep your mouth shut.
And that can happen
You have no
anybody.
right telling me how I should have done something differently or how I should be grieving. You don't know me. And parasocial relationships are so dangerous because people just think they know you so personally.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
And I grew up with a pool in my backyard and we had no fence. My mom does now for my nieces. But like back then, like that wasn't a thing. Like you didn't really do that, you know? It's like just don't drown. Like but still, or don't go in the pool without an adult or like, you know, like whatever. But it's like, but even so, if that's just so
it's just like don't tell people how they should
disheartening
react to a situation, agree to a situation unless you've been through the exact same one. And even then just keep your mouth shut. Just keep your mouth shut.
Just keep your mouth shut. Like it's as simple as that.
Ooh, well, back to
where we went back.
Go back to social anxiety.
But like that giving us social anxiety right now. Like, do you ever cancel plans like last minute? And do you feel relief or do you feel grief?
The best thing a friend could ever do to me is cancel a plan.
I know.
Because I've typically probably already wanted to cancel, but I don't want to be the one to cancel. So if they cancel, I'm like, thank you. Like, I do feel guilt. Like I do feel guilt, but I've learned not to feel guilt because if I'm canceling something, it's because my mental health needs to just not be at this place. And any friend I think who guilts you, unless it's like you're canceling last minute on something really like a life event for them, you know?
Wedding. Like if you're just like canceling on the wedding for no reason.
Stuff like last minute, whatever. But like if we had plans to go to dinner, go to WeHo or whatever, and you cancel last minute, I would never be upset.
I have never, I don't think I've ever been upset. Yeah. I've had people in my life who have gotten upset, but I have just never been that person. I've never been upset because at the end of the day, even if it's like you can't get up off your couch because you need to just rest, and like I made these plans when maybe we were like drunk in WeHo and we're like, let's go do this on Wednesday, and then Wednesday rolls around and you just don't feel like that. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Like it's always going to be there. We're going to do this again. It's fine. Like, and there's always something for us to do.
Always.
We always have something to do.
And like, if you're a good friend, just don't guilt your friend for it. You know, just like it's a bad friend move, I think, to like guilt someone for.
I agree.
You know, going through that. So when you need to recharge your social battery, how do you usually do that?
Two things. I'm either on the couch, just vegging.
Yes.
Like, do not talk to me I am just there. I'm either reading a book, falling asleep, watching a show, something. Or I just go to a spa day.
Love a good spa day.
A spa day is the best like recharge. Like
it is.
Just like spend like going to the Korean spa, getting a scrub,
a good head massage,
a scrub. And then you're just like, you know, the Korean spas, you just walk around naked with a bunch of other women and it's just the most amazing thing ever. Like everyone's just freely, I was gonna say free balling it, but we
ain't got no balls.
We ain't got no balls, but like we free balling it in there. And it's just, I love Korean spas.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone just goes there and it's like, whatever.
I need it.
Doesn't matter what your body looks like. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just come on
anything.
in.
Just come in. It's a safe space. And
yeah.
What about you?
I think most of my recharge just I gotta wake up, and go straight to the couch. And just start like binging TV while like playing whatever show loudly on the TV. I'm also playing TikToks loudly on my phone, so paying attention to neither of them.
Yep.
Go ahead and plan out my Uber Eats orders for the day. You know, like whatever I want to like chow down on. Probably a nap or two in between, and then I'm like back in bed by the time the sun goes down. And it's just my favorite.
She is, you guys. We've said this time and time again. Her phone is on Do Not Disturb. At like 7:45, maybe 7:47. I'll give her like a few extra minutes.
But I love being good.
How do you stay authentic when your personality is also your brand?
I mean, I think I've made my personality like known to be like that. Like yes, people see that I'm out and about and having a good time, but I'm also pretty open about the days that I'm just like lounging around and doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, I just think just being honest about it. I don't try to pretend to be like people love, especially in the city, to make it look like they're always on the go, always at events, always like being invited to all the parties. And I used to care in the beginning because you just want to be like, oh, she's part of the scene. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's like obviously we go to events that are aligned with us as individuals or Milk and Honeys or like like I said, our own individual brands. But yeah, it's just like I saw something yesterday. Someone had in their like their sort of away message. I don't know what it's called, like when your status or whatever on Instagram. And it was like they were at like this club, and it's like they had the name of the club, and then tonight, right now, and I'm just like. Like
anxiety,
you know, it's like,
and also and get there, we start at 11 p.m. You must be out of your mind if you think I'm going anywhere starting at 11 p.m.
Not starting at 11. I mean, unless we're in Vegas, right?
Okay.
Like because that's like you're mentally prepared for that. You know what I mean? Like we're taking naps during the day for that.
Yeah.
So like we're like making sure we're all good.
Which is so funny because like college days, it's like the pregame didn't start till 11 p.m. You would never be like when I was like 18 to 22, you couldn't catch me out anywhere past midnight. Like that's like lame. I'm not showing up to the club before midnight.
Exactly.
What are you old? Well, yes, now we are old.
Well, we would start getting ready at 11:30.
At 11 and having the pregame.
Yeah.
And then get there like 1 and then party till 3.
Well, you were in Miami, so that's different.
No, I was in Tennessee during college.
Oh, Tennessee. Okay, never mind. But do they stay open later than
like 3?
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, for us, it was like 11:30, you get ready. We're out the door by 12:15, 12:30. We're getting there at like 12:45. And then you have like an almost 2 hours to party. And then you're going to an after party. Then you're like someone's house. Then you're going to an after party.
Which is what you like typically look forward to
anyway. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's lift in on something softer since we're wearing our softest of clothes right now because your girl needs some self-care right now. We have hung out a lot lately. So our moon cycles,
our periods, our rags are synced.
They are synced. So, and I do love that period talk has become a little more like mainstream. I think mostly because of all like the health gurus on TikTok. It used to be this thing like in high school, especially the boys would make fun of you for starting your period. I wore white pants once and went up to the chalkboard and I had a red spot and that was like the thing. Now, I love that it's different now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should end in case anybody else is on their time of month. What is your favorite like thing to do? Your routine when. We talked earlier. I think we're the same. Like we just want to go to the store and like either go to the store or go to a restaurant that has a really nice cooked steak.
Like, I just want red meat.
Right, yes.
I also am somebody who goes back and forth being anemic.
Okay.
So like when I am on my period, I am crazy. Like what I'm losing, my body's like
needs.
like
we're vampires.
Yeah, I'm like, give me blood.
Yes.
Like, you know, so it's a very like interesting thing. But also like I'm not like a huge chocolate person, but I do love like a bag of something like Reese's Pieces or a Butterfinger or like
a Butterfinger.
Just like I always love cooking chocolate chip cookies, but like maybe on my period I'm cooking like 2 extra, you know.
That's a really good plan for my evening tonight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get a big steak. Definitely do get a skillet chocolate. Like I have a little skillet and you put like 4 chocolate chip cookies in there,
or like make yourself a little like a little yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Like, oh my goodness. When I had roommates and we would be on our period, I mean, or not, but like a lot of times when we were on our period, we would bake a yellow, like
I love yellow cake.
Yellow cake, and we put that chocolate frosting on it, and we would just sit there with forks and just go in until like we were full. We'd leave the forks there and just like leave it on the stove and be like, whoever wants, you know, like every now and then within 48 hours, the whole thing's gone between 3 people, you know? So that's also something that I love really to do. But just cozy. I just want to be cozy.
Self-care. Like let yourself like take, like I'm supposed to go to a party this weekend and I'm like, I feel like I'm not going to want to go because I'm just going to want to like enjoy like laying on my couch again, eating my steak, watching horror movies. I want to eat blood and watch blood.
Yeah.
While I release blood.
Yeah, while you release blood. No, like literally my family was like, Vanessa, you're psychotic. But like this is like my woo-woo self, like my woo-woo Vanessa. And I was just like, God, I just wish I could just like sit in a field of grass and just like free bleed into Mother Nature and just give her back like who I am.
This is giving Midsummer.
You know what I mean? Like and my mom and my sister looked at me like, you are psychotic. I'm like, no, like I just want to like fuck a tampon. I just want to let it go and like, do you, girl, get out. Just get out.
That's how it was. It's probably like, you know, how it used to go. And some
I mean, before all these things, like, that's why they said rag, because you would just like, you'd put a freaking rag in your underwear back in the day, and that's what you had.
Instead of all this like terrible chemical stuff that we're using
which is
now.
Probably healthier. Maybe we should start putting rags.
No. I mean, I'm not going to do that. But
no,
like,
not now. That sounds really messy.
Toxic shock syndrome from tampons, but whatever. We got to go somehow.
Have you ever forgotten that you had a tampon in?
Yes, and I had to go to the hospital because I thought something was really wrong. Like I was like something was really wrong because and all of a sudden my gyno starts laughing and I'm like, what? Because I thought I was dying. She's like, there's an extra tampon in here. Yep. I called my mom because growing up, our preacher's wife had toxic shock syndrome, which is lethal.
It is deadly.
She didn't die, but it ruined her in a lot of ways for the rest of her life. And my mom started crying and she called the church and said I had toxic shock syndrome. I'm like, no, I don't. I said she just assumed because it had happened to me. I was like, I'm fine. Call the church.
I can't.
But yes, and since then though, I've always been scared but I've never done it since then.
I've done it once and it was in there for
who knows how long?
Like weeks, you guys.
Yeah.
Like it was in there, and I'm not gonna lie, like TMI, but whatever. We're episode 24. Like TMI doesn't even count anymore. I was pooping one morning and I was pushing, and all of a sudden a tampon flew out of my vagina and into the toilet. And I was like, and it's crazy because like 2 days before I had been like just feeling really weird.
Yeah.
I had a fever for some reason. I was like, I just felt sick. Like something was off and like I couldn't tell. And it's like, then it just shot out like a cannonball.
Thank God, though. Yeah, because I had to go to the...
And immediately I felt better.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And that's my point. The chemicals they put in these things. Listen, man, this is the shit we have to go through every single month. You don't realize it's not just about the menstruating or the cramps. There's like so much more that goes into it.
Oh, mental? Like I tell my boyfriend all the time, like, you get one good normal week with me. between my actual period, between what is it called? When you're... oh my gosh.
When you're what PMSing leading up to it?
Yeah, but it's called not menstruating.
When you're all hormonal.
What is it called, Mark? Thank you.
Oh my God.
Of course,
Lord.
Mark knows.
Put the mic in there.
Of course, Mark knows. When you're ovulating, Mark has been married for a very long time.
That's
so
what, also, that's the week that we're all like,
yes. No, when
that's
you
that's when we want you.
Yeah, when I'm ovulating, I am horny AF. And then I'm like, why is this happening? And it's like,
I hate you, but also
I
please
hate
lay
you, but
down
I
for
want
it.
you.
I
You
know.
know, it's like, just sit there.
Just
like,
sit there.
let me do me.
Do not talk to me.
Yeah,
It's
just
not about
like-
you at all. We don't care.
Not Kayla and Fanny. She's like getting hot. Let me do me, okay? Like, it's like, but yeah, it's like
God.
between ovulating, the week before your period, you're fucked, and then your actual period. That's 3 weeks right
I
there,
know.
folks. And then you literally get maybe a week and a half of normalcy before you start the cycle
It's like
all
all
over
over
again.
And we
So-
still have to show up to our jobs and be nice. And no, we better not have a fucking attitude because then we're just being dramatic. We're being women.
Exactly.
Well, here.
Here.
Okay. Anyway, on that note, I need to go lay on my couch.
Yeah, we need to go get
my
heating pads because
Get a
we are
steak.
both synced
I know, we are synced.
this week on
Talk
our
about
periods.
NSYNC. Yes.
And we're just gonna sign off. Speaking of NSYNC, saying bye, bye, bye. Don't forget.
Wait. Go ahead.
it is NSYNC,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Bye, bye, bye.
That's not Backstreet Boys. That's NSYNC.
No.
I've been watching this new show called
NSYNC.
Building the Band, and they've been confusing me because, never mind. NSYNC. Period brain. Maybe I'll cut that out.
Yeah, period brain.
I'm
No,
friends with
I
Lance
think
Bass,
you
and he's
should-
kind of feel like what? I'm friends with a few of those, but I mixed them all up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
start over.
But yeah, you know what? We're
Mhm.
just gonna end it today. Okay. If the cold weather's coming,
Yeah, the
we know your
winter
tea is
coming.
brewing, and you know that we will be the best ingredients for that. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, just always listen to Milk and Honey while you're drinking that delicious tea. And remember, we helped you do that.
Yes. And don't forget, next week we're celebrating Halloween.
Woo!
Yes. See you then.
See ya. Bye.
So wait, that's Backstreet Boys?
I was like, bye, bye, hello, bye, bye, bye. Like the little thingies, like, you know.
God.